ladies and gentlemen, Patricia Wallen, and once again, Clyde Porter. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So I have to ask this because I had the thought in my mind, and as soon as I told Alex downstairs your name, he had the same question. Any relation to Morgan Wallen?
No.
Do you get that a lot?
No, I really don't.
Really? Mm-mm. I feel like you would get that question on a daily basis.
I thought about that myself, but no, nobody's ever asked if I was kin to Morgan Wallen.
What about you, Clyde? What about Billy Porter? You ever got that? That's about the only. That's like
I got a cousin named Billy Porter.
Really?
He ain't a musician.
Clyde's kidding everybody.
He was a Navy veteran. Blah, blah. He's quite a little bit older than me.
I already like him more than the other Billy Porter. What was the original Billy Porter? What was that guy? I just remember that name for some reason.
Well, this guy was
Sorry,
actually
help
from the Dwell area.
Oh, your
Alan
cousin?
Dwell? Yeah, but I don't know who the original was. There's so many of them. If you pull up Billy Porter, there's probably 500 in the world or so.
You know, Facebook's really opened up my eyes to that. Patricia, if you could move your mic to the left a little bit, your left. Yeah, and then turn it like you
that?
can. Yeah, there you go.
How's that?
How's that, Alex? That looks good.
Okay.
All right.
Getting the right side, getting your good side.
Yeah, good side.
But Facebook has really opened that up because, I'm Elijah Griffith. There's not many of us that I thought. And then, you can just type in your name on Facebook and there's...
Or YouTube.
Yeah, or YouTube. And there's just a whole list of people that have your name. And that's such a weird thing.
It is. Yeah, I created a YouTube channel the other day, and, I was thinking my name was unique, Patricia Wallen. Well, I type it in, trying to find my YouTube channel, and there's a whole list, and I'm like, okay, well, there's more of me than I thought.
Yeah. And it makes them pages hard to create nowadays for artists.
People to find.
Yeah, because you have to put in different information because somebody's already got it, and it's just a hassle.
It's great. Yeah, it is.
I've got a acquaintance that it's not actually her name, and I didn't know it, but she's got a YouTube channel. Totally changed her name. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a weird world. Have y'all ever found a doppelganger? Somebody that looks like y'all?
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I've seen somebody that looks kind of similar to me.
I think that everybody has that.
I think everybody's got a twin.
Yeah, and that's kind of a weird thing too, because whenever they find that doppelganger or that twin, it's almost identical. And sometimes it'll be in completely different countries, but
Right.
the DNA has just worked itself in to make a person that looks just like you.
I know, it's weird.
Twin brothers from different mothers.
Yeah.
Be a good name for an album.
That actually is.
I know.
I've got twin nephews actually. If they ever get into music, that's
Dan Fogelty and or who was it? Fogelty and it was two musicians that came together and they had that album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's
there were an album called Twin Brothers from Different Mothers back in the 70s or 80s.
Did they look alike?
Very much so.
Okay.
Have you met your look-alike?
No, if I did, I'd went ahead and killed him probably.
There can only be one Clyde.
There's only
right.
one Clyde Porter.
By gosh, by golly.
That's right.
So how did you get involved with him?
Well, I'd actually heard about Front Porch Picking at the Mountain Arts Center, and me and my friend Rosie Watkins at the time, that's before she was married, we figured we would, check it out. And I brought my mandolin, and I went up there and told them I'd like to play, and they're like, yeah, it's Front Porch Picking. Anybody can get up and play and whatever. And it all went from there. They played with me, and then I was interested in taking lessons with him, so I hit him up on Facebook, and
Nice.
so I've been with him for maybe 2 years.
Yeah, about
2 years or something like that. Yeah, and him and his brother plays a lot of my little gigs I get, and
Yeah.
so we're pretty good friends.
Yeah, I've been watching your YouTube clips and all that, and I've been seeing y'all on stage doing y'all's thing. You've been playing a lot of places.
I have, yeah. I've been trying to get a lot of local gigs and kind of get out there, kind of branch out, and
Yeah.
yeah, Clyde's my right hand man.
You're a lot of people's right-hand man. ever since I met you, I've been seeing you in people's bands all over the places. People taking pictures with you. You're
the man.
Yeah, he's like a mentor to the Eastern Kentucky music scene. I mean,
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
I think that you should, man.
I don't know.
I mean, who knows what all you're responsible for when it comes to the music scene here in Eastern
I'm
Kentucky.
just easy is what it is. They call and say, I need you to play with me. And I say, sure.
Or cheap.
He's always-
Maybe the lessons are cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, everything's cheap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good
everything's
guy.
cheap.
He's a good guy.
You know, it's great to have people like you that take these younger artists under your wing and show them the ropes. Because, you know, I'm not a musician. I don't dabble in that world. But I would say that, you know, it's kind of hard to know where to start if you're
Yeah.
just getting
Right.
into the,
Yeah.
you know, the biz.
Right.
You
Like
have to
you
be
got to
careful.
have connections, and you, like you said, you got to be careful with who you deal with and all that. But yeah, Clyde's a great guy. He helps me out.
Just when I sleep, I just don't sleep.
He helps me out a lot.
So how long have you been doing music for again, Clyde?
I've been teaching for 40 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
40 years, yeah.
Wow.
And you never like got burnt out on it, nothing like
I
that?
quit there for a while at one time, quit playing or doing anything.
Wow. What made you get back into it?
I don't know, I just missed it. I quit for about 3 years, never played, never picked up a guitar,
It's hard to
never
believe.
picked no instrument, didn't teach, didn't do nothing, you know. I just kind of chilled out, you know.
But what
I
was
was going to the dark side. And
yeah. What was that spark though? Like what kind of ignited that?
I don't know. I just started playing with some of them kids and stuff, you know, and at church and so forth. And I had a drum corps at church, and we started working with them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Travel a lot and played with these all kinds. I mean, I taught the kids how to do the drum corps stuff. They were from 6 to we had adults in it, you know. So,
Yeah.
it got me interested back in playing. I just got burnt out because I was playing and playing and playing and playing with this group and playing with that group and traveling, and it just got to a point where I said, you know, I just need to lay, you know.
I think that a break is healthy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah. Sometimes you need a break.
Yeah, in almost everything. Like I love my wife with all my heart, but I'm thankful that we work at different jobs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You gotta have a break.
Yeah, you can't be around something 24/7.
No.
Everybody gets burnt out eventually.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How long have you been doing music for, Patricia?
Well, I've been playing mandolin ever since I was 8, and I'm 32. My dad taught me mandolin when I was 8, and he actually played just about anything with strings on it. And I got into music at a really young age. You know, I'd be in my playpen, and my mom and dad and brother, they'd have a band, and they would be in the living room playing music and practicing, and I'm in my playpen, you know, just bouncing around, jumping, dancing. I loved it, you know.
Yeah.
So I kind of think it was just, the music was in my blood, you know. So I started carrying his mandolin around. He's like, you know, if you're going to keep picking it up, I'm going to teach you. And so he started teaching me about 8, and I would sing. I think the first song that I sung with him was Rocky Top, so he would take me with him to his shows. He played with Larry Fuller. He was a well-known bluegrass musician.
Oh yeah.
And he would take me with him to shows, and he would, you know, get me up on stage and sing one or two, me being a little girl, and I thought that was just the most awesome thing ever.
Were you nervous as a little girl doing all that?
I was real nervous, but I guess my dad was kind of like my comfort zone. Like, as long as he was up there, I was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been me and him playing and stuff. And so I was okay as long as he was up there with me.
What made you choose the mandolin, though?
Well, because I just thought it was the prettiest sound. You know, my dad played fiddle, guitar, and everything, and I don't know. There was just something about the way it sounded. I just think the mandolin is beautiful, and
It is.
and I love it. And I like banjo too, but you know, mandolin's my favorite. Obviously, that's what I play.
Like it just whenever I look at bluegrass, because I'm not a bluegrass player, but I was talking with Harry Clark of the Wooks just a few weeks ago about this. I have nothing but respect for folks that play bluegrass, because now that I've matured and learned a lot more about music, I see just how difficult that art form is. It is absolutely crazy. The chord progressions and watching y'all's fingers go and keeping up with beat. And it seems like that the mandolin would be like one of the hardest instruments to play in bluegrass because it looks so small. And like, is it difficult
looks like
to
a
play?
little mini guitar. It can be. You know, like I said, I started out really young. For me, it was easy. It just kind of come natural to me. Somebody that would start learning right now, like somebody my age or something, I feel like it would be a pretty difficult task to try and play. But yeah, I don't have anything else to compare to. I started young, and my dad taught me little notes at a time, and then before you know it, I learned a whole song. And then he would get the guitar out and play with me, so that way I would learn timing, because timing is everything. You can sound great by yourself, but when you get with a band or something, you have to have that timing.
Yeah.
I mean, he always told me that's the most important thing, and it is, I mean, you can sound great by yourself, but you have to be able to play with other people and keep time. And so, yeah, here I was 8 years old, and he got his guitar out, and he's like, I'm going to play. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And, but yeah, he taught me timing and how to keep in time. And I've been trying to play on the guitar, but, even if I try to do a country song, like where like bluegrass is instilled in me, I catch myself wanting to do bluegrass chops, like on a country song, and it's like I'm having such a hard time trying to get rid of bluegrass and try to do country on the guitar. It's hard to me, I
would say so after doing it for that long.
Yeah.
It's quite a long time. But, bluegrass, it's such an amazing art form. Another thing that we got to talking about in that podcast that, like, I thought a lot more of afterwards, the way that Harry described bluegrass, and I thought it was a perfect term for it, he especially to mountain people, is he used the term primal. And it got me thinking, like, what if music can be genetic? Like, what if the reason that, us mountain folk like bluegrass so much is that's because our great-great-great-grandfather played bluegrass,
I would agree with that.
Kind of like how whenever there's a baby that's like 1 year old and don't know anything about music, doesn't know what sound is, but yet they'll hear music and they dance.
That's me.
That's
me. Yeah.
It was just such a crazy thought to think about that. Like, music can be genetic, and when it comes to bluegrass, that's probably one of the oldest forms of music in existence. Probably.
Oh yeah. I remember my dad. Me being 5-6 years old, he would listen to Jimmy Martin, Bill Monroe. He liked the traditional bluegrass, Ricky Skaggs, Ralph Stanley. And I loved listening to that music, and I would all the time, I'd have Ralph Stanley CD, I'd listen to it, and all my friends were like listening to hip hop, rock, and it was kind of rare for somebody my age to like pick up on that and love bluegrass and play bluegrass. And I didn't realize how rare of a thing that was. But now it seems like for some reason bluegrass is making a comeback. You got Billy Strings, and Chris Stapleton was with the Steel Drivers before he went to country, and he was awesome. He's such a talented singer and songwriter, and
Where the Rainbows Never Die.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite. That is my favorite.
If you can listen to that song and not cry, then you are
that's my favorite.
You have no conscience. I mean, that is just such it tugs the heartstrings.
Yeah, I love anything that he does, And there was a lot of songs that I didn't realize that he had wrote that other singers sung, like the Luke Bryan sung "Drink a Beer," and I didn't realize that Chris Stapleton had wrote that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Josh Turner sung "Another Try" or something, I think it's called, and he wrote that song. So he sung a lot of songs for other artists also.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. I love him.
Yeah, it's crazy how a lot of artists start that way, especially like in the Nashville scene or any big
Yeah.
music scene. They'll
Yeah.
start out as songwriters.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Same way with the the great Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's how he kind of got
Yeah.
his start. I forget how much money he sold the song "Crazy" for, but it was like $50 or something
Wow.
at the
Did he
time.
write the one for Patty?
Yep.
Loveless.
Yep.
No,
I
Patty
know,
Loveless,
not Patty
Patty-
Loveless. Patsy Clyde.
Patsy
Yeah.
Clyde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
I didn't know he wrote
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
That's
Yeah,
killer.
he sold it for like $50 or something
what
like
it
that,
is.
just because he needed some money for rent or for some food.
Made
I
50
did.
million or something off of it, probably.
Oh,
I didn't know he wrote "You Were Always on My Mind," like Elvis.
Yeah.
I thought Elvis had wrote that, but
Yeah, it's
you know.
crazy how these artists,
Yeah.
dip and dabble. Mm-hmm. But I'd say that that's probably where a lot of good money is too.
oh yeah. I'd seen that. I was watching a documentary on a lot of artists, and Garth Brooks and I think Taylor Swift had actually got started by going to the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville and doing like the singer songwriter night, and then they was just there at the right place at the right time. A producer ended up being there hearing them and signed them automatically.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I like to hear other artists' stories, how they got started, and it's amazing, Just I think Alan Jackson. I was watching a documentary on him. He borrowed some money off of his sister, a couple thousand, and he went to Nashville, and used that money to go down there. And I don't know if he done a record or what it was, but he told him he'd pay him back. Well, he ended up making it big. Instead of paying him back $5,000, I think he paid him back like $50,000.
That's cool.
It's pretty neat. I like watching a lot of documentaries on the country stars and how they got started.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from watching documentaries. I
can,
encourage
yeah.
everybody that's in any form of entertainment to watch some type of documentary
Oh, yeah.
on your craft, because it's a misconception of exactly how to make it in this industry. So many people think that you got to go this route, but
Right.
it can happen out of the blue.
Right.
You never know.
Well, a lot of people think it's like an overnight thing. It's really not. It's a misconception. Like, you don't just get fame overnight. These people that's made it big, they've worked their way there. Yeah. They've really had a grind. And Elvis, I love Elvis. He's my favorite. He was a truck driver before he started. He met Sam Phillips at the Sun Records studio, and it's all history from there. But it's just, like I said, I like watching documentaries and learning how everybody got started, and it's real interesting.
Yeah, like you said, people think that it's an overnight thing when it's
No.
definitely not. I mean, some people have had a silver spoon in their mouth,
Right.
but a lot of people, you don't know what they've went through. Like,
No.
I love the story about Chris Stapleton, how long it took him to become famous. And people like Morgan Freeman or Willie Nelson were in the middle of their life before they ever seen any type of recognition. It does not happen overnight. And so many people, I think that can be like one reason that people quit or say like, oh, it's too hard, or it's never going to happen to me, because they gave
just
like a
kinda give
year.
up. Yeah.
And nothing happened, so they just gave up. No, you have to keep on going. You have to find whatever passion it is that keeps that spark alive and keep going, because it can take 1 year. Some people get that lucky, or it can take 20. You never know. And also, it's all according to your definition of making it.
Right.
Like, I'm very happy with what I do right now. Like, this is, to me, I've made it.
Right.
Whenever I was first getting into this job, I was sleeping in parking lots because I didn't have a place to live in the area.
Yeah.
And, bathing myself in sinks and stuff like that. And to be here in this seat doing this, that's, to me, I've made it. I don't need no $100 million Spotify deal or anything like that.
Right.
There's some people out there that's what they want. They want to be rich and famous. And if that's what you want, more power to you. But just know that as long as you're doing what you love and you're happy,
Exactly.
that's making it.
What did the old man say? He said, a lot of old men say, if you can do what you love and
You'll
get
never
paid
work a-
for it,
never
you
work a
never
day in
work
your
a day in your life.
Exactly.
That's what my dad said.
That's what they always taught me. So
I mean, I would love to get rich and famous. I mean, who wouldn't? But, you know, if I don't, that's still going to be okay because, you know, I'm doing what I love. And I feel like I'm carrying my dad's legacy on. He, you know, he passed away in August. And my mother passed away about this same time last year. And they, you know, they played music. So I feel like I'm just kind of, you know, fulfilling their legacy and just kind of carrying on with what they left me with, you know. Yeah. So I kind of think of it like that, and, you know, I'd hoped he'd be proud of me. A song that he had wrote, it was called Melting Snow, Sunshine, and Rain. I've been playing it. I've posted it. And he had written it, and I don't think he'd ever played it out. So I've been, you know, I think it was special to me for me to kind of go out and play a song and kind of pay tribute to him. You know, I think that was kind of cool. But yeah, I just love what I do, and, you know, like, you know, music, like you said, it was in me as a child. I just had it in my blood.
I think that for some people, you know, I think some people are just born to do something.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that. It's fine to dip and dabble and other stuff, but sometimes there's just a certain thing, and that's that person's thing.
Right.
When did you start playing, Clyde? What age were you?
I picked up a guitar when I was 6, and, you know, a 6-year-old, you know how that is. Mm-hmm. I learned a little bit on it, but I really got serious about it about 9, maybe 10. And
what made you want to get serious? What kind of?
Oh, my cousins played. I mean, I had a cousin that lived in Michigan that played with Bob Seger.
Oh, wow.
First cousin, and right before Seger made it big, you know, he got married, and his wife said, either quit playing or we're not getting married. And then like a month later, Seger made it big. And he played lead guitar for Seger.
Oh, man.
All the cousins played.
Are they still married at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
For you, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And all the cousins played, and my mother, she belonged to a record company, and you know, she'd get all these records, and we listened to everything from Iron Butterfly, Deep Purple, to Gregorian chant, you know, and Irish jigs and reels. They sent her all these albums, so I was exposed to all that stuff, you know, as a child, and I just enjoyed it and just pursued it, you know.
Inagata Davida. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I really, really ticked off my principal at my school one time because they put a jukebox in our cafeteria, and they made the mistake of not only putting Inagata Davida on there, but the full album version, which is like 18, 19, 20 minutes long or something like that. I brought $5 in quarters one day. And right there at breakfast time, I started it. And it was we came back at lunch, six hours later, and it was still going. And finally, one of the teachers got so mad that they just went and unplugged the jukebox.
That's classic.
That's great.
I love that song. I'm sure that y'all have heard the story about how it got its name. Right? Yeah. It was supposed to be in the Garden of Eden, but the musicians at the time were so blown away, out of their minds that and I guess, what was it, the producer that named the song or something like that? Because he thought that they were saying Inagata Davida, and it sounded cool.
In the Garden of Eden, but they were inebriated.
Yeah, and it just, that's what it sounded like. So the producer's like, I guess that's what they're saying. That sounds cool.
We'll put it down.
Yeah, that's what we'll put on there. And ended up being a hit. I guess that was their only hit?
Probably.
I don't know any other Iron Butterfly songs.
No.
But by gosh, by golly, everybody knows that song.
We need to do a bluegrass version of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's a plan. Here on live TV or radio, we're going to do it.
I'm gonna cut that out, and I'm gonna make sure that y'all do that. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
There's what have y'all seen that one band or group or whatever they're called on Facebook that does bluegrass covers of really popular songs.
ACDC.
Thunderstruck.
Is that them?
That's
is
one
that,
of them, yeah. And there's
is that what they call the song, or
that they call themselves ACDC. I think that's the group.
The ACDC tribute band or something.
Yeah,
like that.
they do Thunderstruck bluegrass
Yeah.
style. Then there's a bunch from the Nordic countries up there. They do a lot of ACDC bluegrass
You
stuff.
would know that.
I mean,
yeah,
I watch it.
It was like a viral thing a few years ago.
Wow.
I haven't
That's
thought about
great.
that in years.
It's great.
We're going to have to do that.
But yeah, that's exactly what they
Inagata
do.
Davida bluegrass style. Oh, I feel it.
I would, if y'all need some time to kill in a set, like fill up some minutes. That's a perfect way to do it.
Had you ever
right
heard
there.
it, Patricia?
No.
Oh, you got to hear it. You got
Oh yeah,
to.
we're definitely going to play it after this, and the full version too. I think the reason that it's so long is like everybody has a solo. Like the guitar has a solo, the bass has a solo, the drum has a solo.
That's awesome.
The
It's great.
60s were a wild time, but dang if we got some good music out of it.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really fascinating time period. And I know just say no. It's very important. Just say no. But if it wasn't for some of that, I don't know if we would have got some of the great music that we did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we would have never got, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs. Thank God they took that trip to India. Right. Really done them some good.
They've never left Great Britain.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. That's another fun fact there.
I love Johnny Cash and Elvis. They're like,
Johnny was the man.
he was the man in black. He was awesome.
It's so. How old was he when he passed?
Oh my gosh, he was up in age.
He had to be in the 80s. Probably
Yeah,
was in the mid-80s.
I think the last.
Let's take some guesses here. I'm going to say 77.
I
think he was
I'm gonna
82
say like
83.
89.
80. Oh wow.
89.
I'll say 80, below 85.
89.
So you say 84? You have to put a number on it.
I'll say 80 to 81 to 85. And I may be totally wrong. She may be right.
89. I'm always
seems
right. I'm
pretty
always right.
confident.
I'm always right.
He was really old, I know that.
It just amazes me that he made it that long. That's what I was going to get to.
His wife died, didn't she, before he
a couple
did?
of months.
Yeah, he didn't live long after she.
I think he died
It
first.
gives me the date, but I'm not trying to do math here, Google. 71.
What?
You man.
I got it.
Really? Really?
71 on September 12th, 2003. The world bid a sad farewell to the man in black, Johnny
Aw.
Cash.
I remember I was in high school when he passed away. I'm thinking it was 2013, 14.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I remember the last video that he had done was he done the cover of 9 Inch Nails' Hurt.
Yes.
He was so awesome.
Oh, and the music video for that.
Loved it.
Him and June. It's just
That pulls at my heartstrings too.
Oh man, because I think that I think she died a little bit after the video was shot, or he did.
I know they was a couple of months apart when they
they
died.
didn't.
I don't know who died
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I forget too, but it was like just a little bit after that video was
Yeah.
released. That's when they passed,
Sad.
and they're hugging on each other, and it's like,
So
oh
sad.
my god,
I know. Like that song, I Want to Love Like Johnny and June.
yeah.
It's so sweet.
But he was a wild man. I'm so 71. That surprises me, and thank God that man lived that long, and thank God that Rick Rubin found him for that last album too, and done all those songs. I watched a little speaking about documentaries. I watched a little documentary on that Johnny Cash's last album, and they said that whenever they found Johnny, he was playing in like little hole in the wall bars, and just was not as big as he used to be at all, and then they done that album that had Hurt on it, and it just escalated.
Blowed up again for it.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
back to playing arenas.
Wow.
I'm not going to dive into the full story, but if people really want to watch a good documentary, watch the documentary on his last album with Rick Rubin. He was a genius with what he did with Johnny, and even 9 Inch Nails nowadays won't perform that song.
I mean, who can beat Johnny Cash? I mean, come on.
No, yeah,
Come on.
they said that like that's Johnny's song.
Right.
We're not
Yeah.
going to do it anymore. they felt like they made that song for him.
For him.
Yeah.
He done awesome. You know, I didn't realize it, but Jerry Lee Lewis is still alive.
Ain't that crazy?
I'm like, wow.
I just now.
What was he, 90?
He's 90 plus. And, you know, a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken, he was doing a tour or playing somewhere or something.
Yeah, we're trying to get some bigger guests here on the show, and
Yeah.
I was like looking for his contact information, but I couldn't find it because it blew my mind when I found out he was still alive. Have y'all seen the thing that Mike Judge done? That you're Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. the guy that created those, Mike Judge, he done this thing on, I think it was HBO. You can find clips on YouTube of it. It's called Tales from the Tour Bus. And on the first season, no, it's actually very well done. On the first season, he does like classic country, and he does Jerry Lee Lewis, Wallen, Willie, George. I mean, the everybody. And he has the wives on there. He has the kids, former bandmates, and they're all like cartoonized.
Yeah.
But they're telling stories about, certain songs or certain albums
Right.
or road stories. And you learn a lot. And I watched the Jerry Lee Lewis episode, and that man was wow.
I got it.
He married his cousin, right?
And that's he did. for anybody out there wondering, yes,
His double first cousin, twice removed.
Well, whatever.
I don't know.
at a very early, like a very young age. I think she was like 14.
Yeah, she was young.
But that was like 50s, maybe low
Yeah.
60s. That was kind of
Yeah.
whatever.
I don't judge.
But I remember hearing that as a kid that he
Yeah.
married his cousin. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's like one of the least craziest things that he done his career. He shot like one or two people.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that against the law or something?
Not for Jerry Lee Lewis.
Evidently.
He's still out there.
Wow.
He, the list goes on. Him and John Lennon had a beef.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't know that.
But that's a pretty crazy story. And the thing that ended it was apparently Jerry didn't like John. But Jerry didn't he had beef with Chuck Berry and all that. That's actually why he lit his piano on fire the first time. Or, one of the first times was that he was the opening act for Chuck Berry. And he thought that he was better than Chuck Berry. So he wanted to have a finale that Chuck Berry couldn't top.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's why he lit his piano on fire, was just because he didn't like Chuck Berry and he wanted to do better than Chuck Berry.
Wow.
But he didn't like the Beatles either. And but John apparently was a big fan of his because after a show one night, John Lennon walked into his dressing room and knelt down on the ground and kissed the bottom of Jerry Lee Lewis's shoe. And just kind of bowed to him and walked out. And that ended the beef right there.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah. It just goes to show, the Beatles were the Beatles, but people don't understand all the influences they had.
Right.
Speaking about Chuck Berry, one of the greatest. I know that you're a big fan of Elvis, so I don't want to offend you with this.
Uh-oh.
You're fine. You're fine.
I know that people say that
No, you're
Elvis is the king, but
Yeah.
to me it's a tough debate between him and Chuck when it comes to the
Rock and
king
roll.
of rock and roll.
I could say that.
Yeah.
I can
agree.
see that.
It's I can see both, and that's why I haven't chose yet. But if anybody can give Elvis a run for his money, it was
I agree
Chuck
with
Berry.
That man is making more money dead than he was alive.
Elvis?
Yeah.
I would say.
Record sales, Graceland tour. I think, daggone, I think I paid $50 for a ticket just to go
Go to that.
see his
Graceland,
house and
yeah.
stuff. I mean, they're making a killing.
Did you? I went to Graceland. Did you get to go downstairs?
I went. Yeah, we was downstairs. They wouldn't let us upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that it was because of when he was alive, he liked his privacy, and they wanted to, respect him and
Yeah.
keep it private up there. So
Yeah, they done the same thing with us. But like downstairs, that little club that he had, that's wow.
I know. You know, they kind of kept it 70s theme still.
Yeah.
You know?
There's still like the shag carpet on the floor and everything.
It screams 70s.
What's wrong with shag carpet?
There's nothing wrong
I'm
with shag
playing with
carpet.
it.
His ceiling had carpet.
Yeah, it was just a big fuzzy room, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, God.
it's just like it captures that time. It's, they haven't done anything to it, and it's. I love all the stuff that they kept with Graceland.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth a $50 ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I've been through
But they're
Memphis,
making a
I've
killing
never-
off of that place because every time I went twice and both times it was packed.
Yeah.
So they're making a killing off that place.
My aunt loved Elvis, and we was in Nashville one time, and my nephew went into Sun Records, and the older ladies were crying over Elvis, you know. And my nephew was into the rock and roll stuff. And he gets in there, he's like 13 or something. He stands right in the middle of them old women crying. And he said, "I hate Elvis Presley."
Oh no!
And I was like, and that guy was with him because I was at a meeting in Nashville, and that guy that come up the street, and that guy's about to kill my nephew. He said he gets in the middle of Sun Records and says, "I hate Elvis." Them old women were crying and slinging snot and crying over Elvis, you know. And I'm thinking, son, you'll get killed right here in Nashville.
That's you don't do that.
You don't not admit.
It's like going into the White House and saying, "I hate the president."
Yeah.
Like, no, you're looking at the Secret Service.
Banishing
after
a
you.
gun or
You don't
something.
do
I
that.
hate the president. Yeah.
Oh
Hello.
man! Did he eventually become a fan or anything?
I don't know. I really don't. I ain't talked to him. You know, I've shunned him after that. It's
I don't
just like
blame
he's out of the gene
Hey, I
pool.
would have shunned him too.
Like, I have nothing but respect for Elvis. Like, I wonder exactly like what all that guy went through up in his head, because at the time there was nothing like him. Like nowadays we have Elton John and Paul McCartney and all these mega superstars. He was like the first.
Right.
And they would only shoot him from the waist up because he gyrated
kind of
too
jiggled a
much.
little bit. And,
Yeah, that was the problems back in the day, was the
Yeah.
gyrating hips.
And now it's just like, these people would roll over in their graves if they seen what goes on MTV now,
Guarantee it.
Yep.
It's wild. Just how it went from that.
I mean, it's the next gig that me and Patricia do. I may even go into that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you should.
I think you
I'll
should
probably
too.
get banned from.
I think you should do the moonwalk.
Both at the same time.
Yeah.
Actually, you need to do that. It
Simultaneously.
can be a dance solo in the middle of the bluegrass
Right.
version of Inagata Davida.
I feel it. I feel it deep in my soul. I feel it.
Memphis is a beautiful city, though. I've only been once,
is.
and I've been wanting to go back ever since.
I loved it.
Like I've never been to Nashville, but like I
You need to go.
one of these days.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what I loved so much about Memphis, is just the history of the music
Oh
there.
yeah, Sun
blues
Records, and then
Yeah.
I went to down to Beale Street, and it reminded me of Nashville. There was a lot of jazz and blues and
Yeah.
stuff, and I appreciate that music too. I loved it.
Did you get to go to BB King's bar down there?
I've been in the one in Nashville.
He has one in Memphis. It's just like a little hole in the wall place. But I got to talking with the people there, and apparently that was like the first club that he played. And whenever he got some money, he went back and bought it. And I just thought that was just such a
cool.
boss move.
Yeah.
Buying the first venue you played at.
Yeah. I might have walked by it. I can't remember, or I might have went in. I don't know. We went into like just about every place that was down there, just checking it out, But I love Nashville. Nashville's my favorite place. Like my second home.
Did you get to go to the is it the Peabody Hotel that has the ducks?
Memphis.
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm not talking out of my butt again. But there is a hotel, and I think that it's in Memphis. Yes, it is. They have ducks, and these ducks live a better life than any three of us will ever see in our entire lives.
Really?
They have a penthouse suite. They have a butler. They have a red carpet anywhere they go. They have their own fountain that they bathe in, and people pay to watch them bathe themselves in this fountain. It is crazy.
It's crazy.
And like it's I guess it's still going on. Yes, the Peabody Ducks, Memphis attractions. Here it is.
Wow.
I've seen that on TV one time.
I had never heard of
or
that.
either dreamed it or something. Or had
You
a
can
vision
get
of
the
it.
Ducky Day package. It includes one night's accommodations plus a honorary duckmaster, help the duckmaster march the Peabody Ducks to and from the lobby fountain at 11 a.m. or 5 p.m., official brass head duckmaster cane. That's kind of cool. It's just a cane is cool. Like if you ain't got to use one, it's cool.
Right.
You feel like a pimp. Peabody Duckmaster T-shirt is in toddler sizes. Peabody collectible rubber ducky toy. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's your kind of thing. All right.
Absolutely.
And you get your own self parking in the Peabody parking garage. Let's see how much this is.
Do you get a bathe with the ducks or?
If I was, they're not saying how much this
Don't
costs.
touch the.
Oh, there it is. Okay, $415. All right.
Oh, just 400.
For $400, I better be able to bathe with them ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm jumping in that fountain too.
They had better wash my back.
But they come from like a bloodline, and it's
The royalty.
yeah, they really are.
Really?
Yes, it is. I can't remember all the crazy details, but it's a real thing, and it's been going on for quite a long time. Excuse me.
And people actually go to it.
Yes, they pay $415 to go to it,
No.
Like I'm Clyde.
No.
and they got pictures here with the butler and everything. Whoop-de-doo,
cool.
ducks. Whoop-de-doo.
I want to go to. They got a motel, I think, called Heartbreak Hotel or something. It's set
Yeah.
up like it's got Elvis pictures everywhere. It's all Elvis, and I thought that'd be kind of cool to check out.
That would.
Heartbreak
When did
Hotel.
he pass? What year was that?
77 August. I would know that. August of 77. His
Really?
birthday is January the 8th, 1935. I think.
Dang.
Are you asking?
I didn't know he was this big of an Elvis
I
fan.
listen. I love Elvis, man.
Uh-oh.
August of 77, I think, is when he passed away.
Wow, that's.
Don't take her to Sun Records.
You can double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 77.
I
August.
believe you.
Don't take her
I'm
to
just
Sun
gonna- I'll
Records.
make
She'll be
sure-
killing some.
What did you say?
August 77, maybe the 17th.
Yep, you got it.
Was it the 17th?
16th.
Ah, it's
Dang,
close.
you're so close.
I'm good.
In January 8th, 1935.
birthday.
Dang.
See?
I can't believe he almost made it to the
Wikipedia.
80s.
I'm telling you.
That
Just imagine.
so weird.
Just imagine if he was still alive. I think he would still outdo some of these artists today. Like, I really do.
no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just
He's Elvis.
I don't know like
He's Elvis.
it's
I believe you, Patricia.
it's easy to find like inspiration and like be like the people that influence you.
Yeah.
But with Elvis, he was the first of his kind. So I wonder like how exactly he became so great. Like that must have been hard to pull off to be the first ever superstar.
I don't know.
You ever see any of his karate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know his jumpsuit that he would like wear on stage. That was inspired from his karate suits.
Yeah.
You ain't got one of those, have you? The jumpsuit.
I would actually be disappointed if you
I would too.
Do you have one?
I don't know. I know.
We have to
We
find
always.
one.
I thought sure we had
Listen,
one.
I'm gonna have to do that and get on stage and like,
Hey, be all you can be.
I'm telling you.
I'll
Listen,
do the moonwalk and
there's one on Amazon right now for $42. Okay,
It's not bad.
it's not bad.
Woman's jumpsuit.
It can be, it's
it's
Either
unisex.
or. I
It's
mean,
unisex.
unisex. Okay.
it's,
Okay.
well, it's 2022.
Man, they boot me off stage if I
We
wore something
don't
like
have
that.
real men's size, do they?
Now they've got some on here. It's crazy that it's still going on too.
Oh,
It shows
yeah.
you just the power of Elvis.
I went to Las Vegas with a couple of friends after I graduated high school, and like there were galore of people dressed up like Elvis, and you'd want to take a picture with them, but you'd have to tip them like $5-10 each picture. So I'm sure they racked up. But yeah, like everywhere you go, you would see a Chinese Elvis. All kinds of Elvis. I'm not discriminating.
Well, it's all
I'm
good.
not
Kind of funny to
discriminating. I'm
see,
just,
though.
I mean, it's just,
The Asian Elvis.
yeah,
I bet he
Asian.
had a heck of a kick. Like that little kick that Elvis done,
Oh, yeah.
but the Asian Elvis had a heck of a kick.
oh, yeah.
But on Ching, yeah, I hear you.
Ching, chong, chong.
I mean, there's not many people that are like so famous that they only have one name. Like,
Right.
there's like Elvis, Beyonce. Who else?
How about the artist formerly known as Prince?
Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Another good one.
You're
Another
good.
good one.
France.
Other than that, I don't really know.
No.
No.
Yeah, that's about
Aerosmith. Well,
that's actually-
no, Steve Tyler. Steven
Yeah.
Is it Steven Tyler?
Yeah.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah, there's not many people that are so famous they've only got
One name.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And recognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know Elvis Presley, but everybody just says Elvis.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beyonce
Oh, yeah.
knows, but everybody just says Beyonce. Here we go,
Beyonce.
Alex. Help us out here. Rocky. Okay.
Rocky.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's
Well, yeah, that ain't even in. I mean, but think about
That's
it.
not his
We're
real
talking about
name,
music.
though.
Yeah.
and
Sylvester.
Stallone.
Yeah.
Great name too for like a dude that's jacked like that. Sylvester Stallone. That's just a great name for somebody like that.
He's played in a lot of movies I've watched. He's older now, but he's a really good actor.
Still kicking butt.
Still, yeah.
But I think that we've talked long enough. I've been
Alright.
hearing all of your. I've been hearing a lot of your music on YouTube, and all that. I haven't
Okay.
got a chance to catch you live yet, so I am very excited to hear some tunes today.
Alrighty.
So for the people, we'll be right back with tunes from Patricia Wallen and Clyde Porter. Ladies and gentlemen, Those Memories by Patricia Wallen and Clyde Porter.
Those memories of you still haunt me every night when I lay down. I'll always love you, my little darling, until the day they lay me down. Well, then dreams of you,
Man, that sounded so good.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Dolly, like, it's about as good as it gets.
I love Dolly. I
She's
got a cat, and I named her Dolly.
It's a good name for a cat.
Just FYI.
Is she like a fluffy cat?
She's a calico cat. She is fluffy, though.
Okay. It seems like that seems like a good name for a fluffy cat. I have 2 calicos, by the way. Love
I love
calicos.
my little cat.
What's all the colors of the calico?
It's like gray, got a little bit of white, a little bit of, look like a orange looking.
Yeah.
It's different colors. It's pretty.
Love calicos.
I do too.
You know, while y'all were playing there, I looked up her net worth. I was wondering like how much Dolly Parton is worth. I think she's had like money in offshore accounts or something like that because it says she's only estimated about $350 million. Seems like that should be more.
Like billions?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But apparently her largest asset, one thing that we were talking about during the break there, is Dollywood.
Oh, yeah.
The
That
theme
brings in a
park
lot of
in
money.
Pigeon Forge. Especially this time of year. I don't think they ever close it either. I think it's like...
Yes, goes year round, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like one of the only theme parks that are like, 24/7, well, not 24/7, but 365.
I guess it would be.
They do it.
I guess bundle up. And
My sister-in-law and them were just there over the weekend, and yeah, they were out there riding rides.
I've been there several times. The name of the guy making
I want to go.
dulcimers up in the valley there, and actually he had a guitar there. And I played with him, and they had a crowd because he actually was a very good dulcimer player.
Yeah.
He said, "Why don't you stay around today?" He said, "You'll be good for business, But I didn't want to stay there in the hot sun and play guitar with him all day. So.
But you be making some good money right now down there
get
in
a
old
hat, get you
Dollywood.
some tips. Tips on a hat.
Starved to death.
Not down there in old Dollywood. They got good food down there.
Oh, yeah. You guys ever ate at Quaker Steak and Lube?
I love
That is
Quakers.
my favorite place.
Every time I go to Charleston, that's I have to go there.
I keep asking for their baked beans recipe, and they're like, I don't know. It comes in like in a prepackaged bag or something. So
It's like bushes.
yeah,
secret.
it's awesome.
That dang dog.
That
He
dang
keeps
dog knows it.
Yeah, we got to get that dog. I wish that they would release that recipe. There's a few restaurants that do
will.
that. I think Getty's released like the recipe for their ranch or something like
Really?
that. Have y'all ever ate at Skyline Chili?
I have.
Oh, it's more of an up north thing, but I think that they have one in Lexington.
They put cinnamon in their chili.
Really? I've never paid that much attention.
I'll have to try it
I
out.
may be wrong. You can actually Google it, but I think they do put a little cinnamon in their chili. You know.
You
what I'm
guys
saying?
make me hungry. I'm gonna try it out.
If you ever see like pictures of Skyline, oh, you'll be starving to death. Like they don't call them hot dogs; they call them conies.
Yeah,
I guess that's a northern
It
thing.
is. Yeah.
Because they don't call them corn dogs. It's a hot dog on a stick. It's weird.
It's probably has to be a northern thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that bunch of Yankees.
Yeah.
But it's
South's gonna rise again.
by gosh, by golly. But they got hot dogs, and it's loaded down with chili and cheese. Like, there's so much cheese that it doesn't look like there's a hot dog under there. But it's delicious.
Wow. You guys make me so hungry.
So if you get a chance, try out Skyline.
I will try it out.
I'm getting hungry now, too.
I know. I'm going to go get something to eat.
But I think that we actually have time for one more tune.
Okay.
There
So
we go.
what else are y'all going to play for us today?
I'll do a Miranda Lambert cover. It's titled More Like Her.
Yeah.
I love Miranda.
I do too.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Patricia and Clyde.
She's beautiful in her simple little way. She don't have too much to say when she gets mad. She understands. She don't let go of anything, even when the pain gets really bad. I guess I should have been more like that. You had it all for a pretty little while, and somehow you made me smile when I was sad. You took a chance on a bruised and beaten heart, and then you realize you wanted what she had. I guess I should have been more like that. I should have held on to my pride. I should have never let you lie. I guess you got what you deserved. I guess I should have been more like her. Forgiven you. Well, she's stronger than I am. You don't look much like a man from where I'm at. It's plain to see. Desperation showed its truth. You love her and she loves you with all she has. I guess I should have been more like that. I should have held on to my pride. I should have never let you lie. I guess you got what you deserve. I guess I should have been more like her. She's beautiful in her simple little way.
So good.
Thank you.
Forgot how good Miranda Lambert's songwriting is, or whoever wrote that song.
You're still on there.
Oh my God!
You're still being recorded.
I totally didn't know that. Sorry.
You're totally
I was
fine.
like, what is
You're
she
totally
doing?
fine.
She's in the floor putting her handling it.
Hey, you
I'm back.
gotta do musician things. I understand. But for the people that want to, check out your music and also maybe catch a show and just know everything Patricia Wallen, where do they go to do so?
Well, my Facebook, I've posted a lot. You can just look at Patricia Wallen, and my profile picture is of me and my guitar, and I'm sitting in a car. And I just recently made a YouTube channel. They should find it under my name, Patricia Wallen. They might have to scroll a little bit. You'll see like a Blue Moon of Kentucky and those memories. So that's me.
Well, Patricia, Clyde, thank y'all for y'all's time today, and I hope y'all have a great 2022.
You too. Thanks for having us.
Boom. See you next week, folks. All right, there we go.